Following our free educational materials, you learn English in a great way with ease and efficiency.
I give up. I simply can't learn French.
Why do you say that? I think you're making a lot of progress.
No, I'm not. I try and I still can't speak it very well.
Learning any language takes a lot of effort. But don't give up. Why don't we practice those dialogues together?
Good idea. That might help. Here's the course description guide.
What do I do with it?
Do you want me to help you?
Please.
Look, here are the core classes. Everyone has to take them.
So I don't have to worry about them.
You're catching on. However, there are elective courses like woodshop, metal shop, home economics.
I'll take home economics.
Good. Now you can pick classes by yourself. What were you and Richard talking about earlier? It looked intense.
Yeah, Richard said something to me that I didn't appreciate.
Oh, no, I know how insensitive he can be. What has he done now?
He asked me how long it took me to learn English.
But, you were born and raised in California.
Yeah, but I get that sometimes. It doesn't matter how many generations my family has lived in the U.S., we'll always be foreigners in their eyes.
What a racist. How can you stand working with the guy?
You know, Richard isn't such a bad guy. He made the comment out of ignorance, not malice.
So, what did you say when he asked you how long it took you to learn English?
I told him 28 years. And, he knows I'm 28 years old since I just celebrated my birthday last week. He was puzzled for a minute, and then he got it.
Are you sure he really got the message?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure since I then asked him how long it took him to learn English.
That's hilarious. What did he say?
He said, 36 years, and we both laughed about it. He apologized and now, it's all good.
I'm glad. I bet he won't make that mistake again.
Are you a newcomer?
Yeah, this is my first visit here.
You speak good English, though.
Thanks, but I speak English with a strong German accent.
But let me tell you, you're doing just fine. I couldn't do half as well as you do when I was learning German. By the way, how long have you been learning English?
On and off, for quite a few years. Are you new to this school?
Yes, I'm new.
Is this your first year in college?
I transferred from another school.
Where did you transfer from?
I was at PCC before.
Why did you transfer?
I was going to go here first, but my grades weren't good enough.
Did you like it at PCC?
PCC is an incredible school.
Well, I wish you luck here.
I'm sure I'll like it here.
Eric, how long will you be in China?
I don't know. Well, my contract here is for 1 year, and I don't know what I should do after that. Maybe going around for a while.
Well, have you ever thought about learning some Chinese?
Actually, I am learning that now. But it's too hard for me. You know the 4 tones and the stuff. It really freaks me out.
Don't worry. All things are difficult before they are easy.
You hit the nail right on the head.
Well, are you invested in some language exchange program?
What is it?
It's where I teach you Chinese, and in exchange you teach me English.
Awesome. I've been giving this a lot of thought. When can we do this?
How about this Sunday?
Okay, cool.
Good. I'll give you a call tonight.
No problem.
Bye.
You know, I really don't think Americans are very romantic.
Where did you get that idea?
That's the impression I get from the movies, and from looking around. Men and women seem very businesslike in their relations with each other.
Well, I'm still not sure what you're asking me.
Is it true or isn't it?
Do you want to know something about the American character?
I just think you're trying to change the subject. But go ahead.
No, this will help answer your question. In American society, boys and girls are raised together. They're not segregated in their activities. Boys and girls go out together from an early age.
Okay, go on.
After being raised together, men and women can be businesslike in each other's company. It really doesn't have anything to do with the way a man and woman behave toward each other when they are in love. Does that answer your question?
Not exactly, but I see your point.
I think Americans are pretty romantic when they are in a relationship, and a lot of flirting goes on in every office. After you've been in America for a while, you will probably see what I mean.
Excuse me, do you know where the visa office is?
Yes, I do. I'll walk you there.
Thanks.
Are you applying to study or work abroad?
I want to study abroad.
What do you want to study?
I hope to study English literature.
Have you got your visa yet?
Not yet. I have an interview with a visa official today.
I see. Is it your first interview?
No, I've already been here for 3 interviews. Are you new here?
This is my first day here.
Are you a freshman in college?
I started school somewhere else.
What school did you transfer from?
I started at PCC.
What made you transfer?
My grades weren't good enough to go here.
Did you like PCC?
I loved PCC.
Good luck here.
I'm excited to be here.
You must be new.
As a matter of fact, I am.
Have you just started college?
No, I transferred here from a different school.
What school?
I transferred here from PCC.
Do you like it here?
I really like it here so far.
Do you like it better here or at PCC?
I like PCC better.
If that's the case, then why did you leave?
I graduated and I am working towards my next degree.
I've always wondered, what's the difference between English for Chinese students and English for native students?
I don't know. What do you think?
I think a Chinese student concentrates on written English, and uses it as a basis for communicating. From start to finish, he's learning vocabulary and fundamentals of grammar. This is a very difficult way to learn.
What do natives get?
They get higher-level English, which is more formal than everyday spoken English. They also deal with matters of style and creativity.
Do you mean that a native doesn't make any mistakes in grammar?
Absolutely not. Native speakers make a lot of grammar mistakes, especially if they come from a home where non-standard English is spoken.
I suppose that only a small percentage of college students don't know standard English in American universities.
Actually, there are more non-native speakers than you think. That's why it's so important to quit worrying about making mistakes. Just talk to everyone every chance you get.
Matthew, do you know much about body language in countries around the world?
Sure. I've picked up a few things from traveling around for work. Why?
Well, I had a meeting today with a woman from Japan and she wouldn't stop bowing. I didn't know what to do.
Did you bow back?
No, I tried to shake her hand, but her hand was so limp I was a bit offended.
Well, Japanese businessmen and women typically bow to greet each other in Japan. She might have been offended by your strong handshake.
But she was in America. Shouldn't she have known that strong handshakes in America signify confidence and respect?
Things are different in Japan. You know, in some countries, making eye contact with others is considered rude.
Is that why she wouldn't look at me in the meeting?
I think it's highly possible, yes.
The meeting really didn't go down well at all. I think I need to read up about intercultural communication before I have another meeting with someone from another country.
That's a good idea. When you don't know much about other cultures, the simplest thing can offend someone.
That's so true. It's great that we see eye to eye on this.
Are there many idioms in English?
There are hundreds and hundreds. English is particularly rich in idiomatic expressions.
Can you give us an example?
I'll look up the rate. To look up doesn't mean to look high into the sky or to look at the roof. It means to search for and find some information.
What about the expression goodbye? Is that an idiom?
That is just a natural, grammatical English expression. It has a direct translation in other languages.
This is interesting, Ms. Parker. Would you like to go to work or continue your studies after graduation?
I think I will continue my studies. Now it's not easy for a graduate with bachelor's degree to get a job since there are so many graduates with master's or doctor's degree. We are likely to lose in competing with them in the job market.
So you will continue to study for a master's degree?
Well, I think so. But I am thinking of going abroad to get a master's and doctor's degree. If can get a Ph.D. abroad, it will be much easy for me to get a job at home.
How can you finance your education abroad? It is very expensive to study abroad.
I think I will try to get the scholarship since I really don't have so much money to study abroad. Actually, now I am preparing for the TEFL and GRE exams. If I can get high marks in the two exams and if I am lucky enough, I may get a scholarship.
It could be pretty tough studying abroad, being so far away from home. Have you adapted to the lifestyle in China?
Yeah, almost. But there is one thing.
What?
I still wonder what privacy meant for Chinese people. I don't mean to say that there's no privacy in China, but
What is it?
some of my Chinese colleagues just share their personal stories in front of others.
That makes you feel uncomfortable?
Yeah, we never do that in a public office.
Perhaps that's because we hold different ideas about privacy.
I have felt that. One day when I was in a queue, reading a newspaper story, the man behind me peered through my shoulder and stared at the newspaper I was holding.
Well, that's not rare. I've seen people reading at others' newspaper while taking a metro or a bus.
Just stare at the newspaper holding in the hands of the one next to him?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm shocked.
Are you okay, Chuck? You look pale.
I'm fine, Catherine. I just stayed up late last night working on my Chinese.
Oh, poor you. You know what? I found a new way to learn Chinese and it works very well.
You did? Do tell me. I've spent all these months trying to learn something new about it, but I've made little progress.
Sure. I'm learning Chinese through songs.
So you're learning Chinese songs?
You can say that. I can actually sing some of them now.
That's a real achievement. How did you do that?
I start by listening to the song a few times and after several times I am able to follow the singer.
It makes sense.
It does. I've learned some Chinese folk songs this way. They are clearly presented and easy to follow.
Can join you, Catherine? I do want to have a try.
Why not? I downloaded a beautiful song the other day. We can learn it together now.
Great. Do you think we need a Chinese dictionary?
Yes, just in case we run into new characters.
Okay, I will bring it with me. How often do you have English lessons?
I have a lesson once a week, but I try to practice every day.
How do you practice?
I usually look at English language websites every day and go to my local English corner twice a week.
Do you ever speak to native speakers of English?
Sadly, I hardly ever speak to English people. I usually practice with my Chinese friends.
You spoke in English is pretty good. Please tell me your experience in learning English.
I don't know what to say. What do you want to know?
What's your method of learning?
Let me think a minute. I think I always try to take every chance to practice.
What if there is no chance? I mean, what if you don't have a partner? What will you do?
Well, I talk to myself. That is, I play one role first, then the other.
That's a good idea. You are really creative. I used to think that Americans had so much money they didn't know what to do with it.
You did?
Yes. But now I've learned differently. Now I have a more realistic opinion.
What do you think now?
There are lots of jobs, and almost everybody works. There is a high standard of living. People earn a lot, but they spend a lot to live. So there isn't so much money after all.
But I still say Americans spend a lot more money on useless things than we Chinese do.
That's true. But Americans work hard for their money like we do. I don't know why our spending habits are so different.
Is learning the English language your toughest challenge yet? Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials.